Hey there, beautiful people. You're welcome to ABC News Highlights. My name is Nana Kwame Brobe.
My name is Golda Abadai.
And you're ready to bring you up to speed on all the latest happenings in the country.
Right. And on to our first story. So, former Black Stars defender John Paintsil has found himself in quite a bind. A 64-year-old man, Nana Kwame, was about to spend a year in jail because he apparently broke into John Paintsil's home in Bisiase. So, the man's name is Isaac. And he says a business partner, invited him to Ejumako to sell charcoal, and all that is quite a distance. So when he got there, it was late, and his partner said, "Oh, let's go to my house, spend the night, and then tomorrow you move on." They got there, and the partner was using the window. So he wondered, "Why are we using the window?" Asked the man, and the man said, "Oh, I'm having some issues with my mom, so let's go through the window." They went through the window, and in the morning, he found out that the house belonged to the former Black Stars player, and he left, went to his home, received a call that his partner had been, arrested and was in jail, and named him his accomplice, a 64-year-old man. So Nana, he's been in the Winneba local prison for 2 months because he couldn't pay the fine of 1,440 Ghana cedis, and a former Wafa player known as Emmanuel Boateng paid the fine. Nana, this has been in the news for a while, so people were, kind of bashing the football player, saying he's a 64-year-old man. Why can't you be compassionate and the whole lot? And he responded by saying he didn't even know that the man was in jail, and well, the partner stole a mattress, so they still have to pay for their crime, and all that. Nana, question for our legal system: is there a situation where for the man, a charcoal seller, 64-year-old man who wasn't aware that the home belonged to someone else, comes to court? They were charged on 3 counts: theft, what is it, unlawful entry, and then
encroachment
of property, and he pleaded guilty to 2, but not the theft. When you consider the story, the backstory, these situations, do they consider the fact that, okay, he's a 64-year-old man, doesn't have money, pleaded guilty, so maybe we reduce the fine or we find something else for him to do that will also serve as a deterrent for what he did?
First of all, let me just say this. I do believe we need bigger conversations and much more important conversations on unfair sentences being passed when it comes to our judiciary system. But however, he did commit a crime.
He did.
And I think everybody is villainizing, or most people started to villainize Paintsil because he's an old man. You can let him go scot-free. But when did old men become repellent to crimes?
He did say he wasn't aware that the man had spent or had been jailed for 1 year. And that is the part where I find a bit ridiculous. It is your home. Whether you are there or not, you have a caretaker, and obviously you were aware that someone broke into your house to the extent that they stole a mattress, so you are aware of what happened. Are you saying that your caretaker didn't tell you that, the man has been remanded, he's spending a year in jail, this is the fine?
It could be. I mean, nobody can truly say if he's lying or not, but then I'm sure if you were him, you would hire a very capable caretaker who you would expect to do due diligence in cases like this, and not necessarily just tell you, "Oh, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next?" However, I think people should not bash him for
protecting his home.
Exactly. Everybody will do the same, because regardless of the age of whoever breaks into your home, there's been breaking into your home.
But now our justice system. I think years ago we also heard a story. I think there have been many stories where, for example, someone went to jail for stealing a boot for 5 years. I mean, tell me where that makes sense.
Exactly. So we need to have conversations where we give fair sentences
exactly
to certain crimes,
because he was an accomplice.
Exactly.
Shouldn't that be taken into account?
That should. His age, his state, all should. But then again, he pleaded guilty to 2 counts.
I think sometimes even by pleading guilty as an accomplice is even enough for them to consider whether or not, he's supposed to get this particular sentence or, that fine.
Yeah, those cases are mostly different. It's with the like high profile cases of murder, so that if you are able to give some information, we slash some years of your sentence.
Okay.
This is particularly very different. I think what we should be asking ourselves is, did he have a public defender? Like, was there a public lawyer assigned to him?
Yeah, did he actually even fight for him to, get a better sentence than what he did?
Exactly, because it is a right of every citizen to have one in such cases. If you don't have one, the state can provide one for you. But then, do we do that? And even if we do the lawyers
They actually put in the work?
Exactly. Or they just go in there and say, yes, you did it, plead guilty, and let's get over and done with. Yeah, so it's a conversation that we all need to have. And you should have it with us in the comment section, people. Let us know what you think. Do you think John Paintsil should let this go? Do you think it was right to protect his home? Do you think he's lying?
I mean, now he doesn't have anything to let go. The man's fine has been paid. He's moving on with his life.
Exactly. So, and to everybody out there, listen, be careful of your friends. Even if you're going to commit crimes, which you shouldn't, make sure they're not going to snitch on you after.
True.
And we are moving on to our next story. And it was one that when we shared on here a few days back, we had a few responses from some of you when it comes to opinions on it. So we talked about the fact that government has reviewed the funds for the school feeding program, and they've added 20% to the previous one city amount. Well, the spokesperson of the caterers of the feeding program has spoken and said government should go back to reconsider and come back with a better offer, because they cannot cook with 1 cedi 20% per child. And if they choose to still go on with this offer that they've brought to the table, they should pay them their arrears in full and come and do the job
themselves.
Yes, government should come and do the job themselves, start cooking and see if it's possible to cook with 1 cedi 20% per child.
No. I mean, I know the argument is we are in hard times, so the caterers should be considerate. But they are also human beings who are working to earn a living, and the children do deserve better conditions.
They do. So, they do. Yeah. They do. And yeah, so they are saying that they're still pushing for the 3 to the 50% per child. However, even if you can't do it, I mean, as
give them someone.
Exactly, like 20% they're doing exactly, but then basically they are saying if it be easy, do up to the government. If it be easy, come and do up.
Okay. So the last couple of days too, we've had to go between traditional and church. We're back again. So this time the Peace Council is telling the public to be calm and is trying to solve the issue between founder of Perez Chapel International and the Nugukpo elders, because he said that is the headquarters of demons in the Volta region, and they did not take lightly to it. From come and see us within 14 days. If you don't come, we're going to have issues. So they're telling Ghanaians, to relax, and they're going to deal with the issue. But I'm wondering, can they actually solve the issue? Because it seems like, the elders are very, very, very upset.
Rightfully so. My point is, why is the Peace Council in this?
Yeah, the Peace Council, Nana. They're here to settle.
This is not a conflict.
Think about it. It kind of is.
This is somebody saying, you said something utterly wrong to me.
No, the last time you said this is tribalistic. It could lead to something. So they need to kind of deal with it, don't you think?
So they're going to go in there and say what? Please, Pastor, go to them.
Maybe apologize or, let it go, work it out.
Why should the pastor be told to apologize? Doesn't the book to turn the right cheek when you are even offended? You are the one doing the offense. And you are not going to even apologize on top.
Well, I did tell you he said he apologized and that they misconstrued, what he said. So maybe he feels like I have apologized. What's the point, in all this happening?
I just really feel like this whole issue has been
blown out of proportion.
And yes, and approached wrongly. Like, yes, that's saying he did something we didn't like, he said something we didn't like, come to us. You can just go, even do a photo op. Say, yes, I've apologized. Yes, we are okay. It doesn't have to be such a strong religious stance on aligning with traditional spirituality or anything. People offend people. Words can be offensive. And you're human. Regardless of the fact that you're a man of God, you're a man first. So you can err. And if you err, it's all right. They have been threatening him though. He's saying that he will see the power of the land.
I think he had to travel somewhere and there was I don't know, there was a glitch, there was a problem. I don't know whether he had to return. And people were making the story like, the elders have done something for him to return. And people were like, no, there were other people in on the flight. So it's not just about him.
Listen, I mean, we did say we always give you the deets and the updates as they develop, right? And we are going to keep on doing that on all our stories. So we're going to move on to our last story, which is actually a very good thing.
It is.
So yes, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has announced that currently Ghana has decriminalized suicide. So if you commit suicide, you will not be
considered a criminal.
Exactly, you'll not be committing a crime, which is a very good step in sort of addressing mental health in this country, to sort of also take away the stereotypes
that have to do with, okay, I'm going through something, am I going to see a therapist or a doctor to get better?
Exactly. I mean, so this is a good thing, but Abba, mental health in this country is treated as though it doesn't even exist.
Very true.
Yes,
Very
and
true.
a lot of people like to say, I mean, one of my good bosses, Martin, like to say that if you're in Ghana, why are you going through depression? He likes to say, if you're in Ghana, it's not depression, just get money. And a lot of people actually think like him too. I'm sure if you do, let us know in the comment section. Do you think in Ghana there's no depression? It's just
actually, Ghanaians don't even believe in therapy. The moment they hear someone is
Exactly.
going to therapy, they think, okay, so he or she is crazy or you're nuts. But I think sometimes it's important. You have to, see a professional who understands things from a certain perspective. It's going to give you advice, help you through the process, rather than, sitting and then you end up
drowning in your own worries. So yes, guys. Also, we are very much pro mental health, ABC. So if you're going through something, talk to somebody. If you can't talk to somebody, reach out. Like there's always somebody waiting to offer help to you. You are loved, and yes, you're a cherished viewer. So we clearly don't want to lose you. So yes, do talk to somebody if you need to. And yes, we are wrapping it up, right?
We are. This has been ABC Highlights. We hope you had an exciting time. My name is Olga Abadai.
And my name is Nana Kwame Brobe.
And for more info, please visit abcnewsgh.com, and our social handles are abcnewsgh_.
Definitely. See you.